Have you ever been in a situation where you are frustrated with the choices you have or just angry with the outcomes from those choices? Well, emotional agility is a topic that's bringing awareness about challenging those thoughts and emotions to produce a positive outcome. Today, I have Kristol Johnson. She's the founder and CEO of INcourager, and she's going to offer three supercharged positive advice about turning a negative into a positive, also known as emotional agility, here on Early Career Unlocked. Hi, today we have Kristol from INcourager who's going to offer three amazing advice about emotional agility. So, welcome, Kristol.
Thank you so much, Aaliyah, for having me here.
But before we get started, tell us a little about yourself.
I sure will. Thank you so much for having me here today. My name is Kristol Johnson, and I am founder and CEO of The Encourager, a mental and emotional wellness company focused on changing lives one thought at a time.
Wonderful. And I have seen you in action. I've seen you before Encourager was launched, of how you offer great advice about emotional agility. And I'm so happy to see that you've launched Encourager and now it's out there helping others. And so I would love for you to share, how are you knowledgeable in this topic?
Absolutely. So, I'm an accredited life coach with the Complementary Therapist Accredited Association, specializing in emotional intelligence, cognitive behavioral therapy, mindfulness, law of attraction, personal breakthrough, neuro linguistic programming, and also meditation. And this year, I also received my Master Coach diploma from the Priority Academy. And
Wow,
I'm sure you're wondering,
congratulations.
thank you so much. And I'm sure you're wondering, and people may be wondering, like, what does that all mean? And what that means is that I learned how our mind, our emotions, and our behaviors work for and against us. And the encourager is focused on helping people change their minds one thought at a time. And that means that it's about unpacking one thought, one at a time, asking yourself some revealing questions, and uncovering why that thought may live in your mind, and then asking, is this thought a true representative of who I want to be or who I am today? And if not, we work through changing that thought over time to then change your emotions and also your behaviors. And for me, I believe that these tools should live within you, not me, which is why the company is called the Encourager, INcourager, because I believe you have it within you to live a mentally and emotionally encouraged life.
You've applied a lot of these tools when you're talking to your students at the last company that we worked at together, especially your interns, or when you're doing presentations to student organizations. I love to see this in action. I love when you're putting your message out there and really offering positivity. And I think students today, they need to hear that. They need to know, I'm facing adversity, or how do I overcome it? What would be your three pieces of advice that you would like to offer our viewers?
Absolutely, Leah. You are correct, right? I actually have two younger kids, 23 and 21. So I'm right there in the thick of it with having and seeing that they need that advice, that transition from childhood to adulthood and thinking on your own and being able to really choose your thoughts now, right? Like, who do you want to be? So for me, when I think about interns and early entry into career, there are some key pieces of information for them to utilize to maximize their transition and be successful. The first one I would say is, just because you feel doesn't mean it's real. And what do I mean by this? I mean, your feelings are valid and they deserve to be heard. But have you ever overreacted to something that later didn't really deserve the emotional effort that you put into it? I know I've been there many times. And one of my biggest challenges is managing my feelings and emotions when I'm running late, especially when I'm running late to the airport. I like to be on time. When I say on time, I mean early. And when that doesn't happen, I can get emotionally unglued. I begin to see myself missing my flight, see myself running to the gate, getting stuck in traffic. I begin to feel anxiety, stress, and nervousness. But what is real is that I'm running late. I'm not late. I'm just running late. And if I stop and think about what's real right now, I can climb down off my emotional ladder and get back on solid ground. So the first thing is just because you feel doesn't mean it's real. The second one is go with what you know. Facts are your friends. If we take the same scenario, I'm running late to the airport, my mind's all in a tizzy, the sweat pit has begun underneath my arms. I'm probably overlooking something that I've been looking for because I'm stressed. The panic has set in, right? If I stop for just a moment and go with what I know versus what I feel, if I allow facts to be my friends, I would say to myself, Kristol, you are running late, and you're running late because you were tired and you overslept. But you have everything ready, you're prepared, and you always give yourself more than enough time to get there. You aren't late. You're running late to your plan, but you can and you will make it. So when I stop and simply acknowledge my feelings and ground them with facts, I can release that feeling, which is usually wrapped in fear, and begin to live more encouraged than discouraged. And by living encouraged, I mean talking to yourself, talking to myself, encountering those thoughts and emotions with truth and facts. So the first one is just because you feel doesn't mean it's real. And the second one is go with what you know. Facts are your friends. And lastly, you will set your value and your sell price. It's one of the biggest life lessons that I've learned. You have to understand your values, which are who you are at the core. These are the traits that are unique to you, that you live out effortlessly, that make you you, that you hold near and dear to yourself. My values are I'm helpful, I'm kind, I'm humorous, I'm daring, and I'm loving. Those are my values. I live those every day without thinking. So I would encourage everyone listening to take time and find 5 values that are good descriptors of you, not tied to relation to anyone, not tied to what you do or even how you feel, just you. And if you were to wake up every day and just be you, what would you find yourself doing? Who would you find yourself being? And then when you're at that mental and emotional crossroads, you get to use your values as your guide. And my value of being helpful comes into play in that exact same scenario of running late to the airport. I often have to stop and remind myself, Kristol, you are helpful, even to yourself. You've planned, you've prepared, you've made sure you've had time and resources to make this flight. Don't doubt yourself now. And I'll say that as many times as I need to address my feelings and my emotions with the truth, with facts, and with my values. That way, I remain valuable, especially to myself, and I keep that high sell price. I don't sell myself short to my emotions or the emotions of others. I let my values make it harder for my emotions to control my thoughts and behaviors. Make your emotions pay a high price to get you out of character. Make them pay. That means understand who you are and challenge those emotions with your values. It isn't easy. It's a daily challenge. Some days are better than others, but each day you get to choose, and that's the beauty of living encouraged.
That's wonderful. I really like that. I think with college students especially, there's always challenges, whether it's projects, exams, or trying to find an internship, trying to find a full-time position, or the combination of all of that, and then still trying to function as an adult. There are three pieces of advice that Crystal is offering today. One, just because you feel doesn't mean it's real. Two, go with what you know. Facts are your friends. Three, you will set your value and your sale price. What wonderful advice, Crystal.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. And just to wrap things up, any last piece of advice that you would like to offer to our viewers?
Actually, yes. I want to just take the time as we approach 2023. Anyone out there wanting to learn how to live encouraged at their own pace, check out my mental wellness planner at theencourager.org. It comes with monthly group coaching sessions, meditations, and mindfulness prompts. And I would love for all the listeners to find me on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or even LinkedIn, where I share nuggets of how to change your life one thought at a time. Just search for The Encourager with an IN, and I'll see you there. Thank you so much, Aaliyah.
Thank you, Crystal. And I will also put the link to INcourager in the description so anyone can find it. And then for our viewers, for more career advice, 3 tips from industry experts every week, you can find it here on Early Career Unlocked.